Gabe and Jill Pearson. We have the honor and privilege of starting each week with all of you. And one nugget changed the direction of our business, and that's our intent, is to have these weekly trainings. And we're hoping that you just kind of hang on to one of these nuggets and it takes your business in the direction that you want it to go in. We have been talking the last several weeks on leadership. So I guess you can call this leadership series. And Jill was really excited when she got home this morning from taking our son to school. And she goes, I've got a great nugget that I want to share with everyone this morning. And I said, well, have at it. So it's all about leadership. It's all about what are you willing to do to get your business to where you want it to move it to. And Jill, why don't you share that story with everyone?
And I think to clarify that transition a little bit, if we go back to the basics of what we were talking about is what do we do, right? We gather the three strategies we do. First and foremost, we connect with people by word of mouth marketing. Okay, that's what we do, word of mouth marketing. We're professional network marketers. And we do that by we do it in three ways. We gather customers, we build a network. And then the third piece is that leadership piece Gabe was just talking about. And that's improving the efficiency and productivity of the network. Because if you want to move through those elite ranks and get to Master Pro 10, you have to harness that leadership piece and be able to improve the efficiency and productivity of the network. You follow me? So with that, if you go back 10 years ago, it was our first Super Saturday. We were literally in the business about 5 days, and we got all jumped in cars. There was about 5, 6 cars, and we all winded our way to Gainesville, Florida, which is about an hour and a half away from here, down windy roads, through back roads to an old church. And we walked in the wooden pews, and we slid into the wooden pews, and the master distributor of LifeVantage at the time stood in front of the room and gave a presentation, and he was teaching as well. And I never forget, he said, who wants to be in front of the room? And I've shared this story before. And I remember thinking to myself, I could do that. I can get in front of the room. I want to be in front of the room. And I didn't have the vision of impacting lives or changing lives at that moment. But I had, and listen to me carefully, I had a seed of belief that I could do this business. Now, where I was, the seed of belief and what I needed to do to build the efficiency and productivity of my network, I didn't realize was a long way away, right? I had a lot of growth and development in that leadership piece, right? So how do we get there? How do we move from A to Z? So this morning, as Gabe alluded to, I came in from driving my son to school. And what we do is we listen to that Darren daily every day as we drive to school, so my son can hear it. I'm listening to it, but of course he's listening to it as well. And this morning, if some of you tuned in, was about Mike Tyson. And I don't remember all the details, but this was a few of them. That Mike Tyson he had a lisp. He was overweight. He was bullied all the time as a kid. He grew up in a bad part of New York. And so there were, ambulances and shootings and police. So, very rough upbringing on top of being bullied all the time. And for whatever reason, something led him to a place where he could box, like a gym, like an old-timey gym. And there happened to be in that gym a world-class coach, right? Mentor, if you think in terms of our business. And he told him, he said, eventually he sat down with him and said, I can make you the world's best boxer, the best in the world. And so they got on a game plan of getting up every morning at 4 a.m., training, running 4 to 5 miles. Then, all the boxing routines, hundreds and hundreds of routines of boxing and preparation, hundreds and hundreds of hours to master. He would watch famous boxers and see their technique and how they did it. And then soon he became the world-class champ, right? He's famous. I remember him clearly. You know, we kind of were the same age, as we were coming of age at the same time. So it's very clear to me, the story of Mike Tyson. So Darren's message, and my message to you and my golden nugget, a couple pieces to this, is that Darren said, do you think Mike Tyson liked getting up at 4 a.m? And then even Mike Tyson had said, do you think I like getting up at 4 a.m. and training and going over drill after drill of the basics and watching hundreds and hundreds of hours of how-tos? No, probably not. You don't like it. That journey to the mastery can be mundane. That practice and preparation piece can be mundane. But he said, if we can learn to love what we hate and have a passion for that daily rigor it takes to master what we do, right? We're all moving to be professional network marketers. Or are we? Are we really moving to be a professional network marketer? To move to those elite ranks, to hit Master Pro 10, or to even earn that $500 extra a month? Are you putting in enough rigor or work to earn that piece, to learn a new profession, a great profession of network marketing? And then I go back to my own growth and development piece, and in my own experience, and my message is my mess. You know, I have my own, remember I just started off with a seed, right? A seed of belief, if we come full circle. So what did I do to get to this piece, to this moment right here, where my true passion and purpose is to impact lives around the globe? And that's what I call the 3 Ps. And so again, add on to the nugget of what Darren Hardy said about that preparation piece in terms of mastery. And I call it the 3 Ps, that prepare, practice, and present. If we're talking about one skill set that we need to master in this business, it's our communication skills, right? We have to learn how to connect with people, be able to share a message, to build relationships, to communicate, to train people, right? That's that whole nother level, right? Of leadership, is taking your knowledge base and being able to teach that. Are you doing those basic skills? Are you staying in that one quadrant and mastering some of the basic skills of network marketing? So I call it the 3 Ps. And where I see my biggest growth and development is when I have to teach you, when I set an audience and a deadline. And I've shared this with you over and over, where I'm forced to go on live with you. I'm forced to prepare, practice, and present. And what that does is it moves everything off the table except my main focus, impacting your life and teaching you something to move you forward in your LifeVantage business. So what does that look like for you? What is that nugget this week? And I believe, have you studied that Eric Worre piece of what is network marketing? What do we do? Are you able to communicate that what we do is we market our product and service. We sell products and services through word of mouth marketing, and we do it 3 ways. Have you studied that video online? Are you keeping in that one quadrant of the skills, the mastery skills needed to move through this business, to master being a professional, to build your network, to improve the productivity of your network? Are you working on those skills? Are you teaching? Are you working in that one quadrant at least 1 hour a day, or 30 minutes a day, or 15 minutes a day if that's all you have? Are you focused? Are you putting together focused effort? So my nugget to you today, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just focus on your weaknesses. That, you know, what you don't like to do. And that's what's going to get you over the hump. In a nutshell, that's exactly what Jill's talking about.
Can you share what you work on a daily basis? Like, what are the things like technology?
Yeah, you know? I mean, that's my weakness is technology. But for us, you know, our daily routine is a little bit different, in my opinion, than what all of you are wanting to hear right now. But you have to be front and center. You have to lead. You know, you have to be in front of the audience. You have to be in front of the camera. You have to be I've always been taught this. The person in front of the room makes the most amount of money. And what we want to teach is how many people on your team, are in front of the audience. And that's how you build your network.
And, and in one of my presentations in my studies, I realized that Gabe was presenting by day 8. And what that does, Gabe says that blanket statement, the people in front of the room make the most money, but why? Because their conviction changes. The look in their eye changes, their confidence and their posturing improves. They learn what they need to be able to say, to communicate, to share our story. And that's what Gabe's saying, because then people want to follow the network wants to follow that strength. And that's that leadership piece we're talking about. So that's a great point, Gabe. So the nugget on the most basic level is to learn your presentation, to learn what we do. Do you have a product story memorized? And can you present it in your front yard? It doesn't have to be to a huge audience, right, Gabe?
I mean, I can see Jill right now. There's a track worn in our grass of walking back and forth. That's how many times that she's done it over and over.
And in the backyard.
And folks, that's what it takes. I mean, practice literally,
changes everything.
Yeah, right? And it makes perfect. You have to be terrible, right, to be bad. And then you have to be bad to be okay. And you have to be okay to be good, and you have to be good to become great. And you have to go through the trek that every single leader has walked. Yeah. Okay. There's no shortcuts. You can't, if you're not front and center, you can't lead in this business. To get to the elite ranks and to get to the master ranks, you're going to have to lead. And if that's what you want to do, what our message is this morning is to focus on those points that Jill talked about.
You have to do some things you don't like to do. It's like, I sometimes say it's like bad homework. It doesn't always feel good, but on the other side, it feels amazing. Yeah. And then when you change someone's life, that's the reward. Yeah. So with that, you guys have an amazing week.